Moon has been revolving around the Earth as long as we know it. However, Moon being the human companion throughout the known history, it's always a mystery. I mean, we don't know the origin of the Moon or where it came from or how it was created and why is it moving away now. As a matter of fact, scientists were puzzled on the behavior of the Moon. Science was not able to provide a clear and straightforward answer on these questions. Number 1, how the Moon was formed. Number 2, its unusual orbit around the Earth. Number 3, its perfect distance from us and the Sun. Number 4, its density and composition and its structure. There are many scientific theories about the Moon, and it answers only some of the questions or partially explains it. There is only one theory which almost matches and answers all the questions raised about the Moon. Yes, the Moon is hollow artificial structure, or as you call it, alien spaceship brought by someone here to observe us. So let's dig in further to find more details. We need to go to the beginning where we are taught by others that Moon has been here forever. But there is a controversy about this because scientists can't agree on how the Moon was formed in the first place. As I said, there are many theories. Let's go one by one. The first theory, it's called capture theory. This is a theory where most of the astrophysicists were trying to prove. It says the Moon was just floating around the space for a long time, eons and eons, and eventually it drifted near the Earth and was pulled into orbit. This is almost impossible for Moon to skip the 8 other planets and link with the Earth. The second theory is accretion theory. Another explanation is this accretion theory that the Moon and Earth formed out of the dust clouds in the early solar system. But when systems form through this accretion, they share similar traits. Meaning, if the Moon was formed in this way, it should have an iron core like Earth and it should spin on its own axis like Earth. But neither of these are true. So this theory goes out of the window. The third theory, fission hypothesis. This theory is a total BS compared to the previous one. It goes like this. Earth was spinning so fast and a huge rock flung into space from Pacific Ocean and it became Moon. We gave some credit to this theory and tested it. Later, we learned that Moon rock is much older than the rocks that are available at the bottom of the ocean. The fourth theory is giant impact theory. According to this theory, object about a size of Mars, it's about the size of the planet Mars, collided with proto-Earth. And the debris from the collision created a Earth-Moon system. Again, to meet these conditions by skipping all the other 8 planets and the trajectory of that particular object, which is supposed to be a size of Mars, to collide to the prototype Earth, that would be astronomical and nearly impossible, I would say. The last theory is kind of a mixture of all. So the last theory is the combination of all, and a large object collided with the Earth about 4.5 billion to 5.5 billion years ago, essentially vaporizing everything. And this vapor is called synestia. And this synestia was spinning very rapidly and forming a torus. And the Moon was formed on the edge of the torus. And that is how the Moon-Earth system was created. So there are theories. So basically, we still don't know how the Moon was created and how this came to existence. Nothing. And you thought going to the Moon and collecting samples and investigating the Moon should shed some light on this matter. Nope. When we did that, we collected the Moon rocks and that were brought back to Earth, and we studied it on it. And it never gave any solution. It only created more complicated questions, not even a simple one, complicated questions. Man landed on Moon in 1969. Moon rocks, soil samples were brought back to Earth from Moon. And on Earth, The newest rocks are at the surface, and the rocks gets older as you go deeper. Meaning, whatever you see on the surface of the planet, on Earth, the rock would be pretty much new, and as long as you keep on digging, you will be able to find much older rocks. This is obvious and logical, but on the moon, the soil on the surface is older than the rocks underneath. The surface of the rocks are older than the rock underneath them. It's kind of backwards. The only way this happens is this happens on Earth or anywhere is when we drill, dig and mine by bringing the older material to the surface. But we see this all over the moon. Now, if the moon was somehow hollowed out, older rock would be on top, but the list of anomaly goes on. Typical planetary structures have denser materials toward the core and the lighter materials towards the surface of the sun. This too is reversed, and no one could really explain why the moon's surface is pockmarked by asteroid impacts that have happened for billions of years. So, you would expect the rock around the impact craters to be different ages, right? But the rock around the impact craters be different ages, but there is a strange uniformity in the age of these rocks. And the chemical makeup of lunar dust is also very odd. If lunar dust is the result of billions of years of impact, why does it have a different chemical makeup of the rocks around it? Moon doesn't have a magnetic field. We all know this. We have read in the book. Yet, the rocks that has been brought back from the moon are strongly magnetized. Let's move on to the next anomaly. Rare elements. So, there is a rare element called uranium-236 and neptunium-237. These are found on moon easily. These are radioactive elements that doesn't occur naturally on Earth. If it is available, it means that we have created them on Earth. Similarly, titanium, chromium, zirconium are rare on Earth but found abundance in moon. So my question to you is, if Earth and moon are formed together, why is there such huge discrepancy in these metals? What do you think about this? Also, the metals that I mentioned previously are used to reinforce a structure as they are highly resistant to corrosion. This could explain why the moon craters all seems to be the same depth no matter how wide they are. Shouldn't craters of different size be of different depths? It is as if there is a resilient metallic shell just beneath the surface of the moon, preventing anything from penetrating further. They installed a seismic counter and plan to check how does the moon react to any kind of seismic activity. So what we did is, we installed a seismic counter in moon, and after returning to the command module of Apollo 12, crew intentionally released the lunar lander, crashing it into the moon's surface. Then something very unexpected happened. Seismic measurements showed that the moon rang like a bell and reverberated for more than 2 hours. This was a very small object compared to the size of the moon. So, during Apollo 13, an even bigger and heavier object was crashed into the surface. This time, the moon rang for over 3 hours and the vibration traveled to a depth of 20 miles. This doesn't happen on Earth. The reverberation lasts only for a few minutes because of the Earth's density, and on Earth, the vibration slows down as they move towards the Earth's center where the material is denser. But the vibration on the moon actually got faster around 40 miles down, indicating the interior of the moon is not only far less dense but perhaps has a large hollow cavities. Moon has a really peculiar feature that can't be explained. Moon is just 25% size of the Earth, but it has only 1% of Earth's density. Hollow shell theory is the only thing that can explain the 1% density issue. Moon has a lot of characteristics and coincidences that we don't see anywhere else in the solar system. Actually, Moon is more like a planet than a moon. Moon orbits much more closely than it should, and its orbit is also a mystery. It is the only object we have ever observed with a near perfect circular orbit. We don't see this anywhere else because of this near perfect orbit and its size and distance from the Earth. Moon appears in the sky as almost the exact same size as the Sun. This is what allows us to have the eclipse. So this is really starting to make more sense that the moon is a hollowed object. Is it really a spaceship or a hollowed object or even a sentry tower just sent to observe us? We will catch up in the next part. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you had fun or learned anything, do me a favor, like and subscribe. See you again. Bye.